Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope everybody is doing well. Happy Fiji Friday. I am joined by Beatrice again today, which I'm so excited about. Beatrice, how are you today?
Hi, Mackenzie. It's great to be back. I'm excited to talk about Fiji today. Thank you for having me as a guest.
Fantastic. Of course, of course. So before we dive into the properties, let's talk a little bit about Fiji as a destination. What are things that you don't think a regular person who's never been before would not think about?
Yeah, so Fiji, another tropical destination, and there's so many incredible places to explore in this world. But Fiji is really special in so many ways. First of all, I think when people immediately look at photos, you'll see incredible images of the marine life, the coral sea. Um, and beautiful Fijian thatched berets, which are the words that they use for villas.
Mhm.
But I think what's hard to convey in images is the cultural immersion that people will experience once they're in Fiji, and I think that's really the X factor. What stands Fiji apart from destinations like Tahiti, even Maldives, which I
Yeah.
talked about recently.
Yeah.
So for Fiji, I think it's really about really the people.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So what is your favorite thing about Fiji? Because I know you've got a couple properties there that are absolutely incredible. What drew you to Fiji?
Yeah, so we work with one property, Jean-Michel Cousteau Resort. And for me personally, there is something for everyone at JMC for sure, Jean-Michel Cousteau Resort. For me, I thought that my experience with my kids really was life-changing.
Yeah.
Um, and Fijians have this innate nature to really care for children.
Yeah.
Thing like I've ever experienced anywhere in the world during my travels. But for those who are traveling with teenagers or small kids, Fiji is an incredible destination for family travelers.
That's fantastic. Wonderful. And it's easier to get to Fiji than people think, right?
Absolutely. It's direct flights from Los Angeles, San Francisco have multiple flights. You can also now also, I believe, access direct flights from Seattle seasonally.
Yeah.
But the flight is an overnight flight, which is what I think makes a difference. So it's a 10 and a half hour flight. You leave LAX or SFO around 10:30, 11:30 in the evening. And you land into Nandi is the main international arrival airport. And you land there first thing in the morning. So we're talking about sleeping overnight on that plane, and you get there and your adventure begins.
Fantastic. I love that. Because before I was in travel, I always thought that it would take, 18 hours to get to Fiji. And when I started in this industry and was learning more about Fiji, I couldn't believe that it was not 18 hours to get there.
It's an easy flight, and I think when you compare it to other tropical destinations with direct airlift outside of the US,
Mhm.
you'll find that the US dollar goes even longer.
Yeah.
Your value of your dollar goes a long way when you're traveling to Fiji.
Fantastic. Well, I know you've got a presentation for us on JMC. So I would love to get into that. Just let me know when you're ready and we will get that started.
Fantastic. Great. I'm ready whenever you are. Thank you, Mackenzie.
Fantastic. Of course.
Great. Well, hello everyone again. And what you're looking at here is an aerial view of this incredible property called Jean-Michel Cousteau Resort. And it's a small resort. It's only 25 villas, as I mentioned earlier. They call them bures, Bure. That's how they term the villas. And you can see here this incredible pristine bay right in front of the resort. If you're familiar with the name Cousteau, you're well aware that it's a world-renowned name for those who are interested in ocean exploration. Jean-Michel Cousteau himself, a really well-known ocean explorer, and 33% of the world's soft coral is in. You can find that in Fiji. So if you love the ocean, snorkeling, and especially diving, this is should be on the top of your list. Some other things I'd like to share about our location is I mentioned earlier the direct flight is to Nandi, and what you'll need to do is you take a short flight into a city called Savu Savu. So we're not a private island, and you can kind of see here in this image. We are actually located on the second largest island in Fiji called Vanua Levu. I'll talk more about why I think that's important later. But what you can find here, a small traditional Fijian architecture. really mimicked the architecture of local villages, and just 25 villas, garden view and ocean view as well. Located in the South Pacific, we do call ourselves eco luxury. Sustainability is a key component, especially for our ownership and our staff members, trying to preserve Fiji, giving back to the local community, trying to also preserve the local culture and traditions. So when you're coming to stay with us, don't expect something shiny, sparkly, new, and contemporary. You're coming here to stay in an authentic Fijian resort that mimics a traditional Fijian village. And you can just see here just the beautiful tropical landscape, lush vegetation. These thatched berets really give you a complete sense of place here. I talked a little bit about the Fijians earlier, and really what sets them apart, I think, from so many other destinations I've been to is just their love for one another, their love for their people, their community, and their traditions. And, we want to keep that, and we want to maintain those traditions, keep them strong when your guests come, or when you as travelers come to Jean-Michel Cousteau Resort. They're some of the warmest people and really care for children. You can see here, this is one of our nannies. And kids here, if you're a traveler with children 6 and under, they each get their own nanny, someone that's dedicated to help you care for your kids and from morning, noon, and night. For those that are a little bit older, from 6 to 12, you get a buddy because, at that age, no one really wants to have a nanny. And then for those in their teenage years, we do have a lot of our activity supervisors that will engage with teenagers and keep them busy during their stay. I'll talk a little bit more about the Bula program in a moment. Some of the things that we do when you stay at JMC is we pretty much have all-inclusive experience. So when you book your stay through Susan's Travel Services, your accommodations, your meals, your activities are all included. Really, the only things that are not included would be spa, diving, and if you want to enjoy alcoholic beverages. But all of your experiences and activities are all included. Nearly every day of the week, we have a special off-property excursion. What you're looking at here is an image of the kids in our local village known as Nuku Bakalevu, which is literally just nearby the resort. 90% of our staff members live in this local village. So it's really kind of entering a community where you get the window of a true local culture, local lifestyle, and really how do Fijians live and how do they celebrate one another. The Bula Club. So as I mentioned, we have an award-winning Bula Club. I'm not talking about regular arts and crafts or playing in the sand. It's not like that at all. It's really about engaging with the children, teaching them about local culture, teaching them about the environment. So some of the things would be, helping plant mangroves. The nannies also, as you saw earlier, what are their traditional crafts? Using palm leaves to creatively make swords, have a boat race, but make it out of coconuts, have a hermit crab race, and really engaging with the children to learn about the environment. The marine biologist will bring them into the ocean and teach them about the beautiful blue starfish that we have in Fiji. So this is all included and complimentary for guests traveling with children. And for me, as someone who has 2 small kids, again, my kids, when they went to Fiji, they still talk about Fiji pretty much every week. And the bond that they have with their nanny, I've never seen them have such a bond with the person that they had just met. So if you are traveling with children and teenagers, this is really, I think, a perfect recipe for the modern family.
Absolutely. And just as a fun fact, what does Bula mean?
Yeah, Bula is hello. Yeah, it's really kind of their greeting. When you speak with a Fijian, they'll readily say Bula. It's a very, very common positive word. So that's used pretty much multiple times a day.
I love it.
Also with the Kids Club, it's kind of a little resort within the main resort. So even if you don't have children, you'll never really encounter the children's area. But if you do have kids, wow, they have 3 swimming pools, Mackenzie. They have 3 different types of swimming pools. Their menu is made fresh daily, and I'm not talking about French fries and chicken nuggets. I'm talking about fresh vegetables that we grow in our garden. Incorporate that experience with the children, working alongside the chef and learning about really fresh seasonal produce and eating healthy. Little side secret, if your kid does want French fries and chicken nuggets, of course they can and make that happen for you. But um, really an incredible program. Again, included, no additional charge for those coming with kids. This is Johnny, our marine biologist. Here's that beautiful blue starfish that I mentioned to you. Really educating the children about the marine life, the coral city, and what they can do as young individuals to help preserve the beautiful coral city. This is one of the top 10 dive sites dubbed by National Geographic. It's called Namena Marine Reserve. So if you're familiar with the name Cousteau, and if you're an avid diver, yeah, it's a must visit. It's about 45 minutes from our resort, but also multiple points where you can explore the ocean, the underwater world. So this is one of the highlights of our dive center. In addition, included in your stay are twice daily snorkeling excursions. So you can go once during the day. We also do night snorkeling. And again, really some of the best in class dive experiences. The last time I was there, it was 4 divers to a dive master. I'm not a diver myself, but when I spoke with the divers, comparing it to their other dive experiences where there are more than 10 or more divers with one dive master, they really felt that the experience diving with JMC was best in class. You can also learn how to scuba here if you're not certified. You have to spend at least, I want to say, 3 full days to get scuba certified. And for children, we start them in the pool, put on the tanks for them and teach them how to use the devices in the swimming pool before they go out into, the rest of their diving experiences. Let's go back to the off-property excursions that I mentioned earlier. I talked to you a little bit about the traditional village that's nearby. These are just some samples of all the things that we do. On the bottom left, you have our beautiful waterfall. You'll trek there, you'll go on a little hike, and then you're rewarded by this incredible setting. If you have children, your nannies go with you on all of your excursions. So me and my spouse and our 2 kids, we had each of their nannies because at the time they were 3 years old. So they each had their own dedicated nanny that joined us on this incredible hike, carried my children with them, played with them, and all of us enjoyed this beautiful waterfall setting. You can also go tubing. You can also explore the ocean with your nanny or your buddy. Or if you're traveling as a couple or just adults, yeah, take one of our sun catchers, take our kayaks, go explore the ocean. The bottom left, again, is an image of the village nearby. And when we go there, Mackenzie, we have to be escorted by someone from the village. Not just anyone can enter this village. We have to be escorted by someone from the village. We have to present the chief with a gift. The resort takes care of all of this, and the gift is traditionally kava, which is really special to Fijians. And then we're welcome to see their local way of life. You'll get to see their cultural dance. You'll get to see how they live in very, very simple, humble means. You get to also help their local economy because a lot of their traditional crafts and handmade goods you can view and also purchase. Again, talking about sustainability is such a crucial factor when staying at Jean-Michel Cousteau Resort. This is a picture of our own private island. I mentioned to you earlier that we are not a private island in terms of a resort. That we are located on the second largest island in Fiji, but just a few minutes by boat, we do have our own small island that can be enjoyed as exclusive excursion. So you take our private boat, you come explore the island. We basically leave you with a walkie-talkie, and when you're ready to be picked up, we come and get you. But talk about really a unique Robinson Crusoe or Gilligan's Island, however you want to describe it, for you and your loved one or for you and your family. We drop you off with food and beverages, and you just go and explore and relax, take some kayaks, go around the island, and head back to the resort when you're ready. Some other things that are offered at the resort: wellness, yoga daily, our spa, as I mentioned earlier. We do have an incredible spa. Now, here's the difference with our Fijian spa. Uh, Really, I don't call them spa therapists, Mackenzie. I actually call them healers. Um, are individuals that are at the spa. It's a lineage of healers from passed on from generation to generation. And I've personally experienced miracles coming to when I was last here and experienced a treatment. Viri is her name, is our spa director, and anyone at the spa is really incredible. But when I was last there, Mackenzie, I had this pain on my left foot. My son had fallen on my foot, and this pain had not gone away in so long. And I also had this immense pain in my lower left back. And just one session with Viri, I told her about it, and her magic in her hands really completely healed me. I became a new person. I've
Yeah.
also heard stories with, from our general manager with other guests, an individual who, for some reason, for whatever reason, couldn't move his arm, and had explained that to Viri and our team at the spa, and that all he desired was to give his wife a hug. And after one session, or maybe two sessions with our spa, he was able to move his arm enough to get that hug to his wife. So truly healing spa, and I'm sure in many other areas of Fiji, if you are exploring after staying at Cousteau, it's an experience that I highly, highly recommend. Let's talk about dining. So, as I mentioned to you earlier, everything's included, including your meals, your non-alcoholic beverages. Um, we have one restaurant at the resort, but that does not mean that that's the only place you can dine. We do have opportunities to dine private on the end of the pier, of course, by your villa, poolside, as well as the main restaurant. We do have areas separate for families wishing to dine together. Also, an area exclusively for adults who are coming for an adults only getaway or a special occasion. So, those two types of guests definitely have areas at the resort. But the food and beverage offerings here, um, I showed you images earlier of our resort garden where we grow our produce, our vegetables, our herbs. And our chef essentially has a different menu every day for 2 weeks. So if you were to stay here, most Americans will stay for a week. You have a daily change in the menu, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and really some excellent dining options. Also, as well as cocktails, lots of tropical cocktails. And then the afternoon before the evening hour, we also do happy hour, canapes. Um, you'll dine very well when you're staying at Jean-Michel Cousteau Resort. Here are our accommodations. I mentioned earlier it's only 25 bures, and they're all freestanding units, garden view or ocean view, traditional Fijian architecture. Back to the word sustainability, really the materials used to build our berets, we try to have them as local as possible. And Mackenzie, something new this year, the resort's been around for over 20 years, always updating and maintaining the resort grounds and the berets. But something new this year is we added air conditioning. In the past, it was always, just open air, breezy, which I personally enjoy, but our guests, have been asking for air conditioning, depending on where they're coming from. But now you have that as an option.
Yeah. And people don't realize how uncommon AC might be as well. So if AC is important to you, I noticed to Susan,
Yeah.
something to really consider.
Yeah, so Susan, we'd love to have you back if you'd like to come and experience our new AC. But we recently had some travel professionals stay there just about 2 weeks ago, and I asked them about the AC, and you know what they said to me? They didn't even use it.
Oh,
It was not even necessary. So they opened up their louvered windows, they opened up their doors to get the fresh breeze. But it is now available if you'd like it. Some of the things I want to share about our accommodations, maybe you'll notice here, there's no TV.
mhm.
Really trying to minimize electronics, providing our guests with an opportunity to connect with one another, whether it's couples or even families. So no televisions here. What you can expect, very much high-speed Wi-Fi if you're working or you need to stay connected with those at home. Um, but everything else is included, and you have your own little beverage center. Um, we have, of course, the interiors here. If you're not using your AC, we have our multiple fans, um, and just a really beautiful private villa experience. Our top of the line accommodation is our bedroom luxury villa, located at the very tip of the resort. And here you'll have your own private pool, two separate bedroom areas. You have your own outdoor day bed here, um, and really the ultimate privacy. Some of the other things I want to share about Fiji is, um, my experience every time I return from this resort is I feel like a better person. My knowledge about the underwater world, sustainability, also this incredible culture that the Fijians get to share with us, really, really special. Some of my travelers have equated their experience in Fiji to that of a safari in the sense of connecting with the locals. Again, hard to convey in photos, hard to convey on a website, but meeting Fijians, known as the happiest place in the world in so many aspects, is really something I wish all of your clients will get to experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really interesting because, we have clients who really do love a safari experience and cultural experiences, and sustainability is very important to us. And I know sustainability has been a theme within your properties.
Mhm.
So, it's really important that we take care of our environment, we take care of our planet, and to do it in such an easy way without having to think about it, you're traveling feeling good about where you're traveling.
Yes, absolutely. And I think the biggest component of that we don't really talk about, um, is helping those local communities, preserving them,
Yeah.
uh, more than just their land or the climate, for example, but it's about
Mhm.
contributing to their local economy. 99% of our staff are Fijians.
Mhm.
So when your guests stay here, know that they are continuing to preserve their economy, providing jobs. Um, when you purchase something from their market, that helps them continue to thrive. Um,
Absolutely.
I didn't get to elaborate on our location, so my apologies. If I can take a step back,
Yeah,
what's
absolutely.
I think what makes us different from staying in a private island, there are so many aspects. Beyond the resort, I talked about all the off-property excursions, but there's also a local town, which is not the same as the village. So
Mhm.
in the local town of Sabu Sabu, you do have, and I'm talking about 5 minutes from the resort, you have local restaurants. Talking about little boutique hole-in-the-wall restaurants. I'm talking about our pearl shop, our uh, the pearls in Fiji are multicolor, as opposed to, we talked about what Tahiti once,
Mhm.
and we have those beautiful black pearls, but in
Mhm.
it's a multicolor pearl that you'll find here. So the pearl shot the pearl experience is just down the street from us. You get to visit the pearl doctor. You get to see how they are harvest these beautiful pearls.
Yeah.
You also have our marina, our gift shop. I'm wearing today a shirt that I got custom made in Fiji.
Amazing.
You go into a very small little alley, so to speak, and you meet with a local tailor. You pick your fabric, Fijian fabrics, and they customize apparel just for you. Just some of the things that you can do that you might not experience when you're at a local island. And I
Yeah.
think this village that we talked about earlier, being able to go into a Fijian village, a community, and seeing how they're barefoot, the kids are running around, their doors are unlocked, their doors are open, they're singing, they're dancing. I mean, it's just pure joy, which is what I think makes it special. Those are some of the
Absolutely.
things that I don't think you can really truly have when you're staying on a private island, meaning you
Yeah.
don't have access to this local community.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's JMC. I don't know if you have any questions for me, or if anyone has any questions they want to ask.
Yeah, let's see. So we have a couple comments here, mostly just praise. We have Susan, of course, saying she loves Fiji. She
Thank you,
loves
Susan.
the fact that there's their own nanny for kids.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
then she's talking about the Pearl experience in your shirt too.
oh, thank you very much. Some fun facts that I learned having worked now for this property for a few years. You know the movie Finding Nemo?
Of course.
Um, the illustrators actually stayed with us when they were sketching.
Wow.
They were sketching Nemo because again, the Coral City here, it's like a kaleidoscope of colors. It's a real aquarium. Um, so you basically just jump off that pier, dunk your head in that ocean, and you're seeing Finding Nemo in real life.
That is
Um,
the coolest thing. I always thought Finding Nemo was just based on Australia.
well, the storyline, right, is they do go to
Mhm.
that Great Barrier Reef. Um,
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of Australia, I want to share with American travelers that yeah, when you're coming to Fiji, a lot of our guests from all over the world come stay with us, but we do get a lot of Australians, a lot of guests coming from New Zealand. It's very close to them. Um,
Yeah.
American travelers, we are a small and growing population coming to Fiji. But when you're coming here, you will be greeted by a global guest profile.
Yeah. Yeah, my best friend lives in Melbourne, and he said Fiji is their Hawaii, basically.
Yes, exactly. And let me just say, since you mentioned Hawaii, I know Hawaii being part of the United States, easy access from a lot of points. Um,
Mhm.
but I encourage I encourage your travelers to really compare pricing.
Yeah.
Uh, Hawaii, I've been there. I love Hawaii, but it's very expensive these days. And when you're coming to Fiji, as I mentioned earlier, I mean, staying at JMC, I'm just going to quote an average. Let's just say 2,000 US dollars per night for your own
Mhm.
private bouret, all your meals, all those excursions that I mentioned to you,
Yeah.
um, all the opportunities to be in the ocean, and of course the complimentary Bula Kids program.
Yeah.
Compare that price to other Hawaiian resorts and destination. And of course, Mackenzie, any of your guests that you book with us, they get a multitude number of perks,
Yeah.
and we truly take care of them as VIPs on your behalf.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Beatrice. I love having you on our lives. I think you're gonna see Beatrice's face on our lives very frequently, I feel like.
Oh, it's
So,
my honor. It's
yeah,
thank you for giving me the time to speak about it.
of course. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful learning about this property. I didn't know too much about this property. Susan sings high praises of it all the time. And I said, we should invite Beatrice on again. And she goes, you have to ask her about this property. We have to do a Fiji Friday on this property. So I'm very excited that we got to present it to you guys. If you guys have any questions, you can reach out. Info@susanstravelservices.com. You can also scan this QR code for a complimentary consultation, and we would love to chat with you about getting away to Fiji. But thank you again, Beatrice. It's been wonderful, and I can't wait to see you back.
Vinaka, which is thank you in Fijian. Have a great
Wonderful.
Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday.
Thanks, Mackenzie.
Bye.